Welcome to the Empower House podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Bryant, founder of Empower House, the Brunch Club events, business club mentor, twin mum, and coffee enthusiast. I've been hosting my networking event, the Brunch Club, featuring incredible speakers for 7 years. Now I'm bringing the Brunch Club experience and more to your ears. Come and join the community. Find us on Instagram at empower.house. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I'm so excited to have you back with me. I had a message last week and someone had been listening to my podcast and said that they'd had a long drive and it just felt like we'd hung out all day. And I just love that so much. So if you are listening to this podcast, please let me know. Come and find me on Instagram. I'm at empower.house. You can find me on social media. I'm all over the place. I'd love to hear from you. And I'd love to hear from you about this episode too. I had the privilege last week of speaking at a networking event that wasn't my own, which was super fun. I forgot how much I enjoy doing live presentations. I love a group setting. I love to have a long table. There were so many beautiful women at the table. We had such a great time. So big thank you to Sasha Eburn for hosting. That was the We Rise networking events. You can find them on Eventbrite in your capital city as well. So fun. That was excellent. And big thanks to my parents who took care of the girls while I went and did that for a couple of hours. So the presentation that I did is what I'm going to speak to you about today. And that was using systems, strategy, and networking events to scale your business. But my focus is on building a business that gives you freedom. Because you've got to remember why you started a business. And for most people, and I will say that I work with a lot of women, they're starting a business because they are trying to solve a problem. And that problem could be one of their own or something for clients, something that they've experienced and said, you know what, this can be done better. So for most people, that's what they're doing. They're solving an issue. They're getting into business to have more freedom, flexibility, make more money because their income doesn't have to be capped and all of those sorts of things. So when I'm talking about scaling a business, I'm doing it in a way that still gives you those things. You want freedom of time, freedom of dollar, freedom of impact. That is the game plan. And as you will know, if you've listened to my previous episodes, I don't believe, and I am going to die on this hill, I do not believe that you need to have a 7-figure business to do that. And for most people, having a 7-figure business is going to rob them of one of their freedoms elsewhere. You may have freedom of impact and freedom of dollar, but you don't have freedom of time because you're managing bigger teams and all of that. Okay. There's also a piece there where you need to have the resources to invest in yourself, but that also requires time, not just money. And you would be investing in yourself in a way that helps you educate yourself so you can manage money better, manage a team better, and that sort of thing. Okay, so that is what we're talking about when we're talking about scale. You can absolutely have a 7-figure business, 8-figure business, whatever your dreams are, but I want you to do it from a place of actually wanting to get there, as in that is part of the game plan. That is what you've put strategy in for. You're investing in yourself. Absolutely go right ahead, do that. I want that for you. But I don't want it for you if you're getting these milestones and these goals from online, social media, business coaches that have never had a business outside of the one that they are a business coach in, okay? I don't want that for you if you're using social media as the peg that you are measuring yourself against, all right? These goals need to be your own. You need to have a reason behind them. And if your reason is you want to make a shit ton of money, fabulous. I'm here for it. Okay, so the first thing that we did at this event was to check in. And I'm a big believer in checking in. Check in with yourself, check in with your partner, check in on your business, okay? Set a weekly date. This is your CEO time where you're working on your business. You're going to check in, you're going to track your progress, all of those things, right? So checking in on yourself. and a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely shit, can't believe I'm doing this, to 10, I'm amazing and look at me go. How do you feel about the following? Time freedom in your business. Do you have the time to do what you want to do? Do you get to control your calendar, or is it controlling you? Financial freedom in my business. Am I bringing in enough money to just break even, get by? Am I having extra resources to be able to do the things that I want? Maybe that includes investing in a mentor or a mastermind or something, some beautiful conferences and that sort of thing going on as well. Clarity on how to reach my goals. Do you understand how to get there? Can you break it down for yourself? Streamlining business processes. Do you understand how to take a process that you are already doing and eliminate the things that are unnecessary, automate some things, delegate some things, maybe delete the whole process altogether if it's not serving you, and build it up from start? Do you have confidence in your ability to do that? And networking and building connections. Are you confident in your ability to pick events that are going to serve you, and also turn up to those events as the person that you intend to turn up with, to meet the people who you want to meet, to find the next collaboration, to really build on those relationships? So 1 to 10, how do you feel about those things? And absolutely pause this, write some notes, get amongst it. We also went through strategy, and you hear strategy thrown around a lot, but strategy is very simple. It is a goal plus a plan plus action. And all three are very important pieces. Otherwise, we are throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks. So I went through the EOS, and if you haven't already read that book, you need to. It's amazing. It's also something to take action on, not just read and go to the next business book. Okay, so you have a 10-year target. This is your big, scary, audacious goal. This is where you're headed. This is your big plan for your business. And everything that you do is focused towards that. And then you have your 3-year picture. And obviously your 10-year target is going to be made up of multiple 3-year pictures. And then you have your 1-year plan, which obviously feeds into your 3-year pictures, your quarterly rocks, and your weekly scorecard. So we can get granular on the things that we're doing in our business to move us towards our big 10-year target, our big audacious goals. All right. So the thing that you can do within your business is to set 3 to 5 weekly KPIs and track your progress towards your goals. Remembering that we aren't just tracking outcomes. We're not just tracking how many dollars you've made, okay? What we're tracking are actions, the actions that get us those outcomes. And I gave an example. We're going to keep on with this $1 million theme. If you want to have an annual turnover of $1 million, you need weekly sales of $19,230.77. We're going to round that to $20,000 because I'm not saying that over and over. So 20 grand a week is your weekly sales target. And what that could look like is you have an offer of $2,500. You know that your conversion rate is 80%. So you would need to have 10 sales calls a week to make your $1 million a year. 10 sales calls at 80% conversion is 8 people buying your $2,500 offer. Okay, so the weekly KPI for you is 10 sales calls. That is the action, right? So you're going to choose 3 to 5 weekly KPIs and set a weekly date. It is the same day and the same time every week where you have an appointment with your business. That is your time to work on your business. You're going to track whether or not you are hitting these KPIs and why or why not. So be a toddler with this. But why? Why is this working? Why isn't it working? What other resources do you need? Who do you need in your circle? Who do you need to meet? What other events can you get to? All of those things are going to feed into your KPIs, but I want you to be really intentional with this stuff, okay? Is it 20 pieces of content that you need to put out? Is it 50 DMs that you need to send to your ideal clients, not just to anybody? Is it the 10 sales calls? What are the things that are going to help you get to your goals, whatever that may look like? All right. I also wanted to highlight the business freedom aspect. Okay, so we did an exercise. It's called the freedom goal filter. And that could be as simple as my goal in having a business is that I can spend more time with my kids. I want to pick them up from school at 3 p.m. every day. So the business action that you would take in order to achieve that goal is to stop offering late afternoon client calls and automate your scheduling. Okay, when you have your own business, you get to control your own calendar for the most part. And if your goal is to pick the kids up, then just structure your day that way. That is the whole point. We will always fill the space that we allocate, so allocate it efficiently. If your goal for having a business is to be able to work anywhere, travel the world, and do all of that, but you haven't taken the time to book in your travel or your vacations, then stop right now and go to your calendar and book them in. You can get on to things like What If and book an accommodation, stay anywhere without putting a deposit down. Okay, but what you've done is allocate that time in your calendar for the year to say, I'm traveling on these dates. And then you are also showing up for the commitment that you're making yourself. All right, so depending on why you started your business and what freedom looks like for you, we're going to start scheduling those things in. So thinking about the goal and then putting the business action in place to support that goal so that your business is working for you, not the other way around, because we did not start a business just to have another job. Then we're looking at eliminating bottlenecks. And this is just the point in your business where things get hard or clients or potential clients drop off. So we're looking at the entire customer journey, and we go from awareness, and that can be awareness that you exist. It can be awareness that your client has this problem. It can also be awareness that they have this problem and you exist and you have an offer that can solve that problem. Okay, so awareness moves to interest. Interest is, I'm interested in hearing more about you because maybe you can actually solve it for me. Maybe I do want to spend my money with you. Okay, that's building interest in the next step, which is purchase. And purchasing then leads into delivery, and delivery then leads into hopefully a repeat purchase and or a referral. Okay, so somewhere along your customer journey, awareness, interest, purchase, delivery, repeat purchase and or referral, there's going to be a bottleneck. If there's not, amazing. You're the best business person I've ever met and I want you to teach me. Okay, so where in your customer journey are you having a bottleneck? If you are the world's best kept secret, you have an awareness problem. And that means that you aren't turning up online in the way that you need to be. And that can be, I'm putting out so much content, but it's not really landing. Okay, but what are you saying? What are you known for? Are you clear on your messaging? Are you clear in who you're speaking to? Are you trying to speak to too many people? Are you putting out too many offers? Okay, your awareness piece is clear and consistent. Once people know that you exist, then it's the interest piece. Are you delivering enough value and positioning yourself as the person who can actually solve this problem? Are you showing up with confidence and saying, yes, this is the thing that I can solve for you, or this is the product that will do X, Y, Z. From that, then we have purchase. And the biggest pitfall that I see people have here is quite simply not asking for the sale. Got all of this content all over their social media. They're doing amazing podcasts and all of that, but they have no way of moving people from the thing that they don't own, which is their social media platforms, into something that they do own, which is your email list and your calendar and your funnels and all of that, and asking for the purchase. And also making it easy for your customers to spend money with you. Your clients should be able to either spend money with you while you sleep or book a call so that they can spend money with you while you sleep. Okay, you have to have that step there, and it needs to have the least amount of friction possible. That means get rid of any unnecessary clicks. Make sure that your links are up on your social media bios, not just buried somewhere in your link tree. You probably don't know how many links you can have on your Instagram bio right now. But if you are only relying on your link tree, then you need to go back and look at it again. You should have a lead magnet up there. You should have a way to book a call or to make a purchase. Those two things are very important. You can absolutely have your link tree there with multiple offers on there and different events that you might be hosting or collaborating on or whatever it might look like for you. But we have to make it as easy as possible to take people away from the social media platforms to the things that you do actually own. Then the next part is delivery, and that can be on a couple of that can be an issue on a couple of areas. The first is that you are making promises that you aren't living up to. So the customer has paid you this money expecting a certain product, a certain experience, and then they're feeling let down and ripped off, or they aren't in the position that they should be. They're not up to where they should be to actually take advantage of that offer just yet. And that might look like they're at a certain level in their business and they want to scale 10 times, but they're really only up to doubling or tripling their business right now. And so they've gotten in and gone, oh wow, I am so overwhelmed. Or they buy a course and they don't touch it. Okay, that kind of thing. So we're making sure that we're matching the offer with the client who actually needs it, not just taking money for the sake of taking that money. And then we're also making sure that we are selling something that isn't going to burn us out. So that looks like selling them an entry-level package and then over-servicing that client, which takes your energy and your time resources and all of that away from the clients who are paying you the big dollars to work one-on-one with you. Okay, so we are delivering on the thing that they are paying for, not just over-delivering all the time. Our next step in that funnel is the repeat purchase. Are they buying from us again? Because keeping a client is going to be cheaper than getting a new one for each and every sale. We want to move them from one purchase level to another, have a value add-on. Maybe we have a group thing or an event that they would enjoy or something else that we can give them that keeps them in our orbit, in our world. All right. And then also the referral. If they aren't referring you new clients, why not? Are you asking them? That is the number one thing. You should have a way for them to easily give you a referral. After they've bought the thing, gone through the process with you, whatever that looks like, ask them for a referral. Give them a link. Don't just ask them and they write back and say, yes, that's fine, and not give them a link. If you loved it, let me know. Click here. Please leave me a 5-star review. If you have feedback for me, write back to me. If you've ever been to one of my brunch club events, you will know that you'll get an SMS and an email with this. And I also ask you to come and join the Facebook group because that's where all of the other people are. I give you opportunities to promote your business and come to more events and all of that because I'm trying to build a community. So I'm giving you a place to all hang out. Okay, so making sure that you are asking for that referral so that you can work with more clients just like them, because the old saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. So if you really enjoy working with this particular person and you aren't asking them for a referral, you are missing out on easy clients, because word of mouth is the best form of marketing. It's super cheap and you should be utilizing it. We also went through our systems because systems are a huge part of scaling your business. So your homework is to look at all of the systems that you have in your business. And I want you to ask some questions. What is the system? What is its function? How much does it cost? Okay, and then looking at those three things, am Are you using those systems to the best of your capabilities and their capabilities? Do we have some systems that are overlapping in things that they could do? Can you ditch any of the dead weight in your subscription list? Because there's going to be a subscription list. Do your systems integrate with each other easily? Is there any double handling going on, or are you using a bridging system to transfer data, a third-party integration like Zapier or something? And which systems could you merge or replace with one that is more comprehensive? And you have heard me talk about high level over and over again, because that's exactly what I did for my business, is take multiple systems, put it all in the one place under one platform, and save myself a ton of money on monthly subscriptions. So have a look at your whole systems, take inventory, and see what they're doing for you and what they're costing you and where you can do it better, because there's always going to be a leaner or more efficient way of doing things. And sometimes it's going to require you to invest a little bit of time and a little bit of money to make those changes. We also spoke about networking, and I want to be really clear about networking, and there is a bit of an icky connotation around it sometimes. Networking isn't just about selling. It's not about turning up and giving people your 30-second elevator pitch and here's my business card. It's about connecting, and you're building relationships, and you're creating this support network of people who are going to say your name in rooms that you're not in. Okay, these could also be new mentors, they could be new friends, referral partners, collaborators. There's so many opportunities to be found at networking events. And really, the smaller rooms can have more impact for you. So we're not just going to big conferences, we're also going to the smaller coffee catch-ups where there's a speaker or something like that. And I want you to have a mix, online, offline, big things, smaller things, things where you're going to learn something and you can meet some other people who are also interested in that thing. Okay, you want to go to a variety of these events. And now there's also a couple of tips that I have for you. My networking tips. I want you to turn up as yourself, exactly the person that you are, not the facade, not who you think you need to be. The person that you want to be known for, turn up as that person. I want you to show up on time, and actually even a little bit early, so that you can walk in cool, calm, and collected, with the intention of who you're there to meet and how you're going to participate, what value you are going to bring. All right. You're going to have something to share. There is nothing worse than getting into a conversation with somebody at a networking event saying, hey, how are you? What have you been up to? And they go, oh yeah, busy with work. Boring. I know that you are busy. Everybody is busy, but busy is not a badge of honor. So we're going to have something to share. I've been listening to this podcast. Recently, I was a guest on this podcast. I wrote this book, or I've been reading that book, or I worked on this client lately and we got this result, or I'm working on this new project, I'm putting a course out. Whatever that looks like for you, have something to share. And on the other side of that coin, also have something to ask. We naturally, when we are meeting somebody new, we're going to ask them what their name is and what they do. That's fair enough, but have something more to ask. Okay, what other events have you been to lately? Have you been on any business retreats? I'm looking for one. I'm looking for blah, blah, blah. Whatever that looks like. Have something to share and have something to ask, so that you can be really good at conversation. Ask people more questions and they will remember you for being a quality connection, a quality conversation, and you can also find new clients this way. You can find people who are going to refer to you, because maybe you're going to connect on something that isn't business related. Maybe you're going to connect on, oh, I love dogs, they love dogs, brilliant, you know. It's about creating connections, and you can do that on so many levels other than asking, hi, what's your name? What do you do? We're also going to be aware of our surroundings and have appropriate conversations in the appropriate rooms. We're going to include other people, because we all know what it's like to turn up to a networking event on our own and feeling that social anxiety. Okay, so let's include other people. And we're also going to thank the organizer and the team, because I can tell you it is damn hard to get bums on seats and make sure that the day is running smoothly. So do use your manners and thank the people who have put on the event. Of course, if you have feedback, there is an appropriate way to give that to your organizer or the team. And it's usually not in front of everybody. It's a well-worded email afterwards, or maybe a quiet sidebar at the event. Just be reasonable. I would also encourage you to go to these events looking for something in particular, okay? If that is what value you're going to bring, I always want you to bring value, but also what are you needing help with in your business right now? What can you ask for that this room might be able to deliver for you? So you can go to online networks, you can go to conferences and larger events, you've got your industry associations, there's the in-person and online networking events. Okay, event and community sponsorships as well are a great way to get your brand out there. So thinking about what is the next networking opportunity that you can say yes to, what value can you bring, and who are you looking to meet? All right, that is what we went through. I do have a couple of takeaways for you that I shared with everybody the other day, and that is, again, on scaling. You do not need a 7-figure business for freedom of time, freedom of dollar, and freedom of impact. I can share with you, back when we had a panel shop, I come from automotive and finance, if you don't know. When we had $1 million business, we had a big team, we were doing long hours, and the profit margins were not there. We were outlaying so much time. I mean, 5 days a week, at maybe 6. It was a long day. We opened at 7 and finished at 4, but that actually looked more like starting at 6-ish, 6:30, and sometimes not finishing until 5 or 5:30. And then also having to come in on a Saturday because we'd had a massive week, and just getting those other things done so we could come back and do it all again on Monday. And the profit margins weren't there. It was only about 5%, right? And we were working with people that weren't great. We didn't love the clientele that particular insurance company contracts were bringing through the door. That's a whole other discussion. The team were burnt out because we were trying to get so much work done, which is when mistakes start happening. So there's this real flow-on effect, right? To when we scaled down that business to about 400,000 a year, and then we were making 30%. Okay, there was less stress. We were doing 4.5 days a week. The days were shorter. They were still 7 till 4, but we were actually walking out at 4 o'clock. Amazing. There's a massive difference in having a 7-figure business and doing it intentionally and making good money, to hitting 7 figures to pretty much just spend all of the money that you're bringing in. All right. I want you to have a profitable and efficient business. Number 2, you cannot out-strategize when you are out of alignment with your business. Your values and your passions and your commitment matter more than money. And without all of those things, you will burn out fast. So we want to focus on having a business that is in alignment with our values, that we can turn up and be proud of every single day, that is going to get us out of bed, that we are going to continue to enjoy. And it doesn't matter how many times we talk about it, we're still lit up with that passion. All right. You cannot out-strategize when you are out of alignment. There's no strategy in the world that can save you then. On your systems and processes should break at each milestone. What got you here will not get you there. And it is a wonderful growing opportunity. So when things start to feel like they are on fire or they're crumbling around you, it is an opportunity for you to innovate. Your systems and processes should break so that you can innovate in your business. There is another way to do things. It's easy to fall into the "we've always done it this way" trap, but I encourage you to look at it from a bird's eye view and see, what can we streamline, what can we automate, what do we need to just get rid of altogether to make this a better experience for us and for our clients. And finally, your network and your community are the most valuable thing that you will build. I hope that you have really enjoyed this very quick recap of what I was presenting on at the We Rise networking event. I would love to hear from you. Please come and find me on Instagram at empower.house. I'd love to hear from you about your experiences scaling your business, using strategy and systems, networking. I know that there are some amazing networking events out there. I know that there are some not so amazing ones as well, which is why I started my own. If you can't find something you love, then build your own table. Highly recommend, but also definitely have the systems in place to help you with that. Thank you again for being here. Please follow this, subscribe. You'll get the notifications when I drop a new episode. I'd love you to leave a review, share it with a friend, all of those beautiful things. I will see you next time on the podcast. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed it, please send this to somebody who you think will enjoy it too. Don't forget to leave a review so I can reach more people just like you.